Get everything lightened up here. No. I always love that one. You guys know that because I do it every time. Nope. There we go. Okay. That way we can have some brightness here. Okie dokie. Now just going to give everyone an opportunity to join. Ah. All right. Sorry, you guys. Obviously, I can do screen and screen. I just realized that. So, I accidentally pulled up Instagram. So, I'm trying to. Okay, watch out, little bug. Watch out. Go, go, go. I don't want you stinging me. All right, you guys. 1 second. Just responding on that and closing this out. Yay. Hello, hello, Alex. Let me figure out. There we go. To figure out how to do it. I wasn't aware that I could have a screen within a screen on here. I mean, I know it's possible. I haven't done it with YouTube yet, so just waiting on everyone to join, or well, those that are able. I'm gonna say everyone because I know it's a weekday, which is a work day for a lot of people, but you know how it goes, my sister Luminamara. You know how it goes. So, doing everything intuitively based on what is brought in through guidance. The guidance coming from the source lines, the infinite intelligence, and really feeling this message coming through that I'm really excited to share, where we are going to witness the false mother, the false divine, or the false feminine. We're not going to say divine feminine, the false feminine, the false light worker, which is again connected into the message that's been coming through. And the message that's been coming through is connected and anchored into how we witness ourselves. And welcome, welcome, welcome. And so how we witness ourselves is one of those aspects of allowing ourselves to recognize and understand that we are all, we are the false and we are the pure in this realm. So, 1 second. So, all right, so welcome, 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 letting everyone drop in. So for those, because I'm feeling a lot of energy dropping in that is not familiar with what I'm going to be speaking into. So for those that are joining, understanding that what is being brought through here is a witness of sovereign self. What is happening here is activations of light. We are receiving ourselves through higher dimensional form, and we are integrating in higher dimensional form. So if this is something that you are new to, I welcome you to stay here and witness it. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, maybe it's an opportunity for you to discover a little something, just something a little bit different. We have a tendency to be so consumed by what's happening in the world, whether it's war, whether it's bullying, whether it's race, whether it's what identity you have, and everyone is consumed by all of this. And they are not allowing themselves to see anything else. And if you are only ever concerned with telling someone what they are, or telling someone how you feel fit to judge them, you're only witnessing yourself. You can't see anyone else in a way other than that which you witness yourself. So, as we begin to step into this, I would like for everyone to just take a deep breath and bring themselves into their most aligned, natural state of presence. Because there are a lot of energies here that are still connecting into some energetic frequencies of distortion and bringing through that distortion. So for those of you that are anchored into your sovereignty, I would please request that you anchor in a bit deeper. Allow yourself to come into your inner pillar of light. As we call in the angelic ultraviolet rays to just bring in a presence of balance, of sovereignty, of witness, and allowing those filaments of electric currents, those that are based in distortion, to just fall away. Because we understand that those that are able to receive will receive, and those that are not able to receive will fall away. So we're just going to allow that to happen. So I want to begin I want to bring through the message. Yes, happy birthday, Dixon. Celebrating you on your solar return and your birthday. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And thank you. So happy that I could offer that. There we go. So as we move into this, we are going to bring through and witness that which is the false light, that which is the false mother, that which is the false light worker, that which is the false light in general. So if you're here from this point on, I will not be responding to any messages of disruption, distraction, or distortion. So you're welcome to drop whatever you want in the chat box. It's not going to bother me. You're not going to get a rise out of me. But I also want to witness and hold each of you in that which you are not witnessing yourself, which is light. So the false mother, the false light worker, is something that we're really witnessing within the collective right now. What does this mean? So denial is the greatest force that is in opposition and resistance to that which is source, that which is infinite intelligence, that which is the light. And denial of self is all the things that deny you the witness or the opportunity to experience and feel yourself, because that's how we witness, is we feel. Just like we feel, we heal, we feel, we witness. So when you allow yourself to understand that it's not about what's happening out here, it's not about who you're connected with out here, and it's not about who is seeing you out here. It has nothing to do with that. And when you understand this, you understand that you're not doing this as a job. You're not doing this as a business. The 144 are waves of blueprints, waves of templates, which are waves of embodied mastery. So the 144, we are the ones that chose and were chosen to come in and anchor templates of light that were necessary to assist the collective and the planet. Because as I'm sure, for those of you that are here live, you can see just in the comments alone where people are so absorbed in a soul level, on a collective level in the 3D, which is I have to come on and I have to disrupt and I have to distort and I have to project, because that's the only way I can be seen, is if I project myself in a way that shows that I'm worthy of being seen. Those in the 3D, of course, we know that are still in the matrices of electric magnetic. They're so consumed by witnessing themselves through the distortion of others and witnessing themselves within the distortion, period. So if you're here just to project, just understand that whatever you're projecting at someone, all you're doing is receiving your projection back to yourself. So if you throw a judgment out, and if you throw something out that's trying to shame and bring someone down, then you're only receiving that back. You can only see in others that which you see in yourself. So if you attempt to shame someone, you're just shaming yourself. You're if you attempt to judge someone, you're only judging yourself, because it only affects the other person if they accept it. And so that's why, like, this is public, because people can drop in all that they want, but I do not accept the judgment. So understanding ourselves as light workers means understanding that we're not doing a job. We're not here to do a job. And we're not here to regulate what others are doing or what others are being. We are here to be the presence of light that honors all that we have mastered and honors all that we have agreed to bring through. And the only way that we can do this is to stop treating this as a job, as a business. We're not a corporation, and we are not here to bring that aspect through anymore. This has already taken place in the 3D matrices, right? We have spiritual businesses, we have religion, and religion, of course, as we know, and a lot of spiritual businesses are working from teachings, and teachings teach separation. If you don't do this and you don't believe this, then you're damned. And if you don't accept this, then you are somehow separate from God, and you're somehow separate from source. No one is separate from source except for when they're in denial of their true spirit self. That's the only way, but you're not actually really separate, but you're going to experience yourself as separate. So the only way that anyone can understand themselves is to be in witness of you're projecting, and you could be projecting light, which means it's false light, saying that, I am this and I am this and I am that, and you're using titles and you're using roles to integrate your purpose. And one second. One second. Nara koshiandia dia sukutak e. Okay, there we go. Just removing those that do not have the capacity to receive. There we go. Okay. I am speaking light. That's what it is. We call it light language, which it goes beyond ego. It's an expression of spirit. So it's not confined. Like, if you attempt to understand a language, most everyone was brought up in their culture and their language. And so the words that you understand come from the definitions of not only the definitions of the language itself, the belief that's ingrained in the language itself, but you also have a concept of what words are because of your experience with those words. Like, I can be saying the word light, but in your mind, if you're accessing through mind, then you only understand it from your perception, which means where I'm expressing from my perception. I'm also expressing from where I am in my being and in my state of experience. I'm going to do some balancing. Alex, would you please assist me? Jania Sateria, Sukuyandia, Kuyandia, 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 Karia Sateria, Lutushandak. Marakushiandik e so kodiandik e. And just clearing these lines of projection. Darakashandik e. Bringing us into balance. Kotashkiat. And finding the center. Sotania turkushia. Thank you, beautiful. You feel it? Yeah, so I'm switching the chat to where I'm only able to see those which are aligned. So therefore, when people are that way, when people are dropping in an attempt to disrupt, it can be filtered out. So thank you all. Even for those that are projecting distortion, I just want you to know you are still loved. You can say anything you desire, but only you can receive it in return, not me. And if you are joining and you have no idea what I am talking about, if you choose to stay from a place of where you receive and you understand on a deeper level. There is so much hate and war and projected separation in the world already. This is not a space for that. There are plenty of other spaces for that you are welcome to go and be a part of, but we don't need it, and it is not required, it is not necessary, and it is not requested here. So I bring this through on a public level so that others can be immersed in something that maybe they never have been, and allowing them to hopefully understand themselves on a deeper level. But I know as we also shift into our waves of consciousness, which I will be guiding everyone through here momentarily, those that can't move through levels of consciousness are going to fall away anyways. So it's a play, moving through something of that capacity. You have to be able to receive yourself in pure consciousness, not from projected mind. And projected mind is judgment, it's distortion, it's distraction, and it is look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me. That's distortion, that's distraction, that's projection. And that is someone that needs attention because they feel like the only way that they can feel worthy of the presence of another is by forcing themselves to be seen, by saying, if you don't see me, then I am somehow not worthy. But I want each and every one of you to understand that your worthiness comes from your spirit and it comes from your soul. And having a need to attach to another is not healthy. It's not desirable, and it's not what we are in our purest existence. So what is the false light worker? The false light worker is one that projects their belief of what their job and what their role is. We are so consumed. You guys have heard me talk about this consumption of information, this consumption of projection, and the matrix is lines of electric information all the time. That's all it is. And it's where we are connected to each other through our psyche, through our brain, the wavelengths of our brain. And so where like, for instance, for those of you that are projecting, the way that I experience it is just like anxiety. It's like, oh my gosh, it's so disruptive. However, at the same time, simultaneously, although I'm feeling that in the physical body, in my central core, in my sovereignty, it's solid, it's sovereign, it's whole, it's complete. And so with this, I can take that electric, excited energy that is just needing to be seen, and we can balance it, and we can anchor it into a more stable state, which is by being in witness of sovereignty, by being in witness of compassion, by being in witness of that which is our most natural state. And what I witnessed through this last phase of mastery was that experience of being in a projection of a light worker. Because if we're projecting one aspect of our soul to any degree, if we are fragmenting ourself through projection, which is what we do through the mind, we fragment ourselves. We are here and we are here and we are here and we are here. We are not here. And as light workers, we've come into this phase whereas we're shifting out of the matrices of old earth and we're coming into the infinite intelligence, the infinite grids, the infinite capacity of our embodied mastery in new earth, which is a realm of dimensionality that already exists. It's just new for this collective of souls in this incarnate form, and bringing our aspects of mastery into that level of experience. We have to be very careful because when we go to others for readings, for akashic readings, for remembrances, remembering is activated. Remembering does not happen through information. The witness does not happen through information. That's one portion of the truth. Okay, so when you go to someone and you ask, am I, like, can you reflect to me what I am? The only way to be a pure mirror of reflected activated remembrance is to first and foremost be in your sovereign pillar of light, to move into and request access to the astral etheric libraries of your embodied mastery. And you do not tell the soul what they are, or what their avatars are, or what their incarnate purpose is. You simply witness as they discover that within themselves, as they feel the embodiment of the light, as they feel those aspects of themselves. They will have it right there in front of them. It's right in their awareness. There's nothing we have to tell anyone. Okay, so this is where we've been getting caught up, is we have been getting caught up in an aspect of telling people what they are, and telling people the information that they want to receive. And it's not about that. It's not about that at all. That's, like I said, that's a little aspect of it. But it's not the whole. So, and I know I've been in that aspect of offering Akashic record readings, and I understand that. But everyone has access to their mastery of Akash. Everyone. There is nothing, it's not that I have access to your mastery of Akash. Only you have access to that. And so what's happened is we're dialing in, but we're getting caught up in the exchange of information. And we're not experiencing that which we're meant to through witness, which means we come together in unity and an acceptance of, like, for instance, in a one-on-one that I had yesterday, there were questions that he was wanting answered. And as we were beginning to move into it, at first I was asking him what he was sensing, what he was feeling. And he was like, Anubis came to me and I thought we were going to go this way. And I thought Anubis was going to guide me to the river of the Nile like usually. But then I realized we're not going that way. And I mirrored, I witnessed, I said, you're correct, because that's how you're witnessing yourself in the old lines. We'll say old lines for just points of reference, but in the lines of mind, in the lines of psychic, in the lines of psychic projection, where all the information is, but you can only go so far, and you can only witness, accept, receive, and embody that little portion of it, and there's so much more. So there was this shift where we came into the river of consciousness, not the river of electric information. And once that took place, it was profound. He was able to not only access his Akash, of course, because it's his mastery, but he witnessed himself in a way that he had not yet witnessed himself. He was able to remember this aspect of soul that was needed for his role, or shall we say his mission, not his role, his mission as one of the 144 in sacred service. And the 144, these waves of 144, they're waves of embodied mastery. Each of the waves carry a specific mission of embodied mastery for the soul, for the collective, for the whole, for the planet. And we have 3 layers of that. The first wave, the first level, first layer is, I want to be, let me fill into this. Nirasotesh Guyandias is first wave requesting to receive is first wave planetary only. So the first wave is planetary only. The first wave is planetary only. The second wave is planetary cosmic. The third wave, and I am, if you're receiving differently, please go with what you're receiving. The third wave, and actually, know what? Each wave has a mix of either planetary cosmic universal. There we go. Each wave has a mix of those embodied masters. And this is necessary because each wave is coming in with a template, a design to begin the construction of new earth. Now, it doesn't mean that we're creating something that's never been created, because all energy is always and ever in motion. It doesn't die. But what we're doing is we're rehabilitating and we're accessing ourselves in a way that we never have, at least not in this physical form. So with that being said, as light workers, we must remember that we're not here for just the information. Okay, we're not here just to tell the collective the messages. We're not here to tell them this is what star group you're connected to, and this is where your avatar is incarnating, or this is where you were a priestess, or this is where you were a priest, or whatever the title was. That is something the soul can access within the soul. What we are here to be is the embodied presence of that which we agree to. And so what we are meant to offer is that which we receive through within our own pillar, where we witness ourselves and we receive a message and reflection of our own sovereignty. And so the only way that you can receive a pure message of source light is in your sovereign witness of self. It's not in the filaments of electric information, because the psychic of the collective, because the veil is dissolving, the psychic is able to access all the information of anything that's ever been spoken, chosen, experienced in the planetary Akash. And the Akash holds all. And where I've seen is we're getting caught up in the information of the Akash and the psychic of the Akash. And then when you're consistently connected into others all the time, and you're consistently exchanging the information, how do you know if what they're giving to you is just their projection of what they are receiving through those lines? Or is it really part of your astral etheric? Because your astral etheric is as accessible through consciousness, not waves of information. So only consciousness can access consciousness. The mind is meant to play the role of heightened sense. It is meant to provide an accessibility to extra senses. That's what it's doing. That's what our clairs are. So that plays a role, but that's not consciousness. That receives through consciousness, but the only way it can receive through consciousness is moving through the states, the octaves, the light waves, and actually accepting and receiving yourself in that realm, in that state of being. And you must be within it. So we need to reclaim this for ourselves as light workers. We really do, because even the word light worker, and I'm using that very loosely right now because it's a very distorted word, absolutely very distorted. And so because its distortion is so heavy, we welcome Greg, welcome. Because its distortion is so great, we've really taken it, I feel, for the transliteration of light working. We take it as we're meant to be working, we're meant to be doing. This is a business and we have to do something. We have a job to do. That's not what witnessing is. Witnessing isn't a job to do. Witnessing is the presence of your being. There is no job that we have to perform within the grids. The grids of Terra Nova, are activated through our embodiment of consciousness. So as we embody layers of soul remembrance, which again is not what someone tells you, it is your own experience within your own aspect or aspect of astral etheric consciousness. That is where you embody your soul self. So if you go into these readings through others and they say, well, you're this, and this is an aspect of you, that activation is like this much of it, but it does not give you the embodiment. The embodiment is the feeling, it is the experience. And what we think we're feeling through the information, yay, welcome, Steph. What we think we're feeling through that activation is what we're feeling in the physical. And we say, oh, that's an activation because I feel it. True feeling is not in the physical, but the physical is a reflection of what we feel in our astral etheric light. And astral etheric light is just pure magnetism. So what I was in our 101 yesterday, what I was guiding him through was to tap into feel your body of light. Move out of the body, because when we talk about embodiment, I can still feel where people are thinking about how they embody emotions. They're still connecting into embodiment of how we have been applying embodiment through healing modalities of the physical. But the physical is only the physical because of the etheric. So the only way that you can embody your light, the only way the physical can be made manifest is if you are in the etheric body of light and you experience, witness, and embody from that place, not in the physical. So this is why in my transmissions, like in today, we move out of the physical, we move into a range of consciousness octaves, we move through those ranges so that you can discover how it feels. And if you're still attempting to feel through what you see or what you think is happening, you need to pull yourself back in, because you're projecting. You're in the mind. The mind can't direct in consciousness. The mind is witnessing, basically, but it's not witnessing in a way that it plays a role. Because when you're in the etheric, you're in the etheric. You're not in the mind and you're not in the body, but you have your etheric cord that's in the body. So your body is receiving everything. But your feeling, your sensation is simple. What I feel is I feel my central pillar of light. It is this, I mean, it's undeniable. It is a very, it feels like a tube, and it's very, very strong, and it fills me all the way up. And then it expands out and it goes out of my body. I don't feel it in my physical. I just feel the central pillar of spirit of my soul. And then I feel myself in my body of light in the astral etheric. And that is where I meet you. That is where we meet each other. And that is where the witness happens. So the false light worker is the light worker that is projecting the information and saying, this is how you receive, and this is how you're activated. And I was just in that. We've all been in it, and a lot of us still are. And there has to be a recognition of this. And it's okay. We can't reclaim that aspect of self unless it is acknowledged and accepted. So if you're constantly exchanging information, you have to understand that that is this much of your remembrance. Your remembrance cannot come through another. It cannot, it will not, and it should not. What happens whenever we go into these transmissions, and I am basically, all I'm doing is I'm inviting you to join me. And I'm inviting you to receive yourself in your sovereignty, and you accept, you go in. And from that point, you're in your sovereignty, you're in your witness. All I'm doing is opening up and allowing and guiding. So anything that you receive and anything that I reflect is based on a mutual experience. I'm not telling you what's here. I'm just reflecting the sensations of experience through my pillar. But when you move into ranges of consciousness, you might be experiencing some other range of cosmic heritage, you might there could be cosmic heritage coming in that same range of dimensionality that I'm not meant to witness, but you are. So we have to be very careful not to just accept something because someone else says it's there. Okay, and I want you guys to understand this as we move into this today. What I'm reflecting is what I am guided to access, because that's a part of my library of astral etheric, and that's what I'm bringing through. And if you felt guided to gather and receive today, I guarantee that's an aspect of your remembrance, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it is. Only you can remember that which you have mastered and that which you are. That is the only thing you can witness within yourself. And the reason why you're accessing those activated remembrances in this realm is so that you can exist as that unified self, and you can remember those aspects of self that you've already had the opportunity to experience through dimensional mastery. And you can witness yourself again as those aspects, but not separate. Okay, so when we talk about, well, I'm this avatar and I'm this star group and I'm this angelic, or I'm this and I'm this and I'm this, yes, you are. Hello, welcome, Charlotte. Welcome, Siraj. Yes, you are. Absolutely. But I want you to be sure that you are. Because if you've constantly received through books, if you've constantly received through teachings, do you realize that you've been activated by words? You've been activated by words. Words hold a frequency of information. That's as far as they can go. Words are limited, everyone. Even when we talk about the cosmic star groups, it's limited when we talk about words. Like when I brought through in the title, the Venusian and the Dragon Mother. Venusian, there's this understanding of, yes, it's coming from planet Venus. Obviously, planet Venus is ascended, and we know that planet in different forms, not just Venus. But there is, in terms of the history and where we get certain cosmic lines of information, it is coming from an original source, absolutely. But that original source is still anchored into lines of distorted time. And so this is, of course, you guys know this has been the message that's been consistently coming through. If you're always reading a book, if you're always taking in a teaching, if you're always receiving from multiple exchanges of information, you please pull yourself back. Please pull yourself back. I was yesterday when I was going to, I think I was going to post something on Instagram, possibly, or I was going to check my messages or something. There was a beautiful star sister that I follow, and I don't normally dial in, but I dialed into that one video. There was an interview, and this was the message, and this is the message. And I was grateful to see that there's a lot that were receiving the message. She's got a beautiful amount of followers. I think it's like 77,000 or something. So I was grateful to see that there were a lot more receiving the message, and it was the same message. And the same message was coming through, that we've got to be really careful, because it doesn't mean that it's not true. But if a person is projecting, because that's all that can happen from the electric waves, is you take it in, and if you believe it, then you speak it, you project it. But embodying in the presence of mastery is not about what you believe. It's about what you are. And it's a very different experience. It's a very different feeling. Because denial, what happens is we get so, I think there's a tinge of fear in there, where we're afraid that if we don't believe that aspect of self, then we won't know what we are. That if we don't have the information coming in, that if we don't have the books, that if we don't have others telling us, then we have this sensation of, how am I going to know? If I don't have someone activating me. But you're not activated by their words, you're activated by their resonance, their frequency. But if their frequency is split, meaning there is embodied master light sovereign there, absolutely. But there's also lines of information that are still being used. This is exactly where I was, you guys. You know this. You guys have felt it. You've reflected it to me. You felt the shift. It is undeniable. But when you are in the split vibration, guess what you're in? You're in denial. And denial is we think fear, but fear is definitely denial. It's one and the same. But denial means you're denying yourself in being in the presence of your sovereign self always. And you're forsaking that which you are by expressing that which you think and that which you believe. And you're so afraid that if you let go of those lines of power, the distorted light, that somehow you're going to be lost, but you aren't, because you're already the whole complete soul master self. All you have to do is remember that you are. That's all you have to do. But you can only remember in ranges of consciousness that hold within the astral etheric, that hold the codices, your library, your codes of mastery. Only you can access that. We enter the ranges of consciousness together. And for those, like, yes, there are those here that hold master key libraries. And for opportunities of witness, everyone's bringing through that which they have mastered and allowing each other to witness themselves in a way that they haven't before. And what the biggest thing yesterday in that one-on-one was the difference in feeling, where it was realized how there was an aspect of self, that line where the lines were split, where the information line, right? We came back because the information line, at first he was wanting to follow the information line, but then he realized, he was like, oh, that's not where I'm supposed to be going. That's not where I'm supposed to be going. That's where I normally go, but that's not where I'm supposed to be going. And as soon as we come back into the pillar where the libraries of your mastery are, then it was boom, 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 remembrance. This is what I am. This is what I'm here to do. And instead of just having the questions answered about like an upcoming trip or whatever, and how this is playing a role and what kind of grid working is taking place, there was this overlighting understanding, the remembrance, where that layer of his soul self from monad came in, and he was like, oh wow, this is what I'm here for. This is my mission. And it was embodied in that moment, and it was undeniable because it wasn't information. It was the experience of himself within his own libraries of mastery. And absolutely, we have gotten so far. And here's the interesting thing, you guys. I'm going to be shifting into the other in just a moment. We think we're feeling when we receive these activated remembrances through false light. Let me tell you why. Because magnetic is energized. It's electric. So when you're receiving information all the time, you are like, yes, I'm activated. This is what I am, and this is what I am, and this is what I am, and this is the star group that's here, and this message resonates, and da 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 da. And you're all over the place, and you're in so much information that yes, you're up. You're up. That's electric. Magnetic is centered. It is expanded. It is engulfing, but it is not excited. It is not excited. It is balanced. It is peaceful. And it has everything flowing within it that is necessary in the now, which means not all the excited information. And our resonance, exactly, our resonance, your signature resonance cannot come from that which you are told or that which you read. Your signature resonance is the frequency in which you exist as your unified soul self. But you must bring all those unified soul pieces in by accessing yourself through the only place you can access yourself in source light, which is in your sovereign conscious state. People are thinking they're receiving infinite intelligence because they're receiving information, and that's not true. Infinite intelligence always and ever only is present through consciousness first and foremost, And like I said, split vibration means, yes, you're in consciousness, but you're also in excited information. Huh, I just caused a limb to break. So we must understand that we must come back and stop separating ourselves. As Alex said, that's separation. That's, you're in two separate frequencies simultaneously. That's not resonance. Resonance is your central pillar. It is not split. And if you're afraid to pull away from others because you're afraid you're going to miss something, you're afraid that you're not going to be connected to the family, the soul aspects of self, then you're still viewing through separation, because we all understand we don't have to be in a physical presence of someone to be connected. I mean, that's not where we remember, and that's not how we remember. We come in connection with our soul aspects in the divine moment that we are aligned through resonance. And in that moment, we bear witness. In that moment, we accept. In that moment, we receive. If we continuously place ourselves in these spaces because we say, well, if I don't, I'm going to miss myself, or I'm going to miss something, then we're fragmenting. We're fragmenting. And it's something that's been very, very prominent in the spiritual community, because we're forgetting that this is about spirit, this isn't about information. So my invitation to you, especially as we're shifting, in just a moment, we're going to move through these ranges of consciousness, is we're going to be guided through ranges of remembrance. Because the only way that we can access these libraries, the only way, there's two Akash, you guys. There's planetary Akash of information. There's the electric Akash. That is the planetary 3D Akash, and it is accessible to everyone. Why? Because we're moving out of 3D. So anything and everything that has ever been brought through in this realm is accessible through the psychic senses right now. This is why we have to start understanding that our psychic senses are only and ever of greatest service when they are receiving from consciousness, not from the mind. And the mind, oh, actually, let me restate that, because they're tapped into the mind. The mind is, okay, when the mind is still separated through the heart, when the heart and the mind are not in coherence, which is where the separation of frequency comes in, where you're so dialed in up here that you're not in here, then the bridge is not able to be the gap is not able to be bridged. When we embody a layer of our soul self, I'm so happy to hear this, Charlotte. When we embody that layer of soul self remembrance, do you know what we're doing? We're embodying a level of dimensionality for the planet. That's how we come into fifth dimension. We don't come into fifth dimension by connecting to everything out here. That's not how we come into fifth dimension. Okay. It's not out here. Okay. Whatever's in the astral etheric, we must move into it, and we must access it through our activated mastery. And yes, in a sense it is out here, but what I mean is it's not out here in information. It's not in the excited lines of the old earth Akash, because our infinite mastery, our soul mastery, those realms of ascended that we have mastered, we must move into and access those libraries based on a choice point that we're at. So for me, there was all this stuff that happened in my environment that brought me into a recognition of I've been projecting, because I wasn't, you know what, I knew I was, but I was denying. And denying is the greatest force of resistance against our sovereign self. So there is a lot of denial in the cosmos. And the reason why we have 3 waves of those that are here embodying is to bring in the layers of fifth dimensional planetary conscious embodiment. So there's 3 levels. There are those that are embodying for planetary, those are embodying for planetary cosmic, those that are embodying for planetary cosmic universal. Because we have an opportunity right now in this range of dimensional ascension, not just planetary, but cosmic and universal dimensional ascension. We have an opportunity to embody these aspects of self, which assist in bringing the planet into fifth dimension, assist in bringing the cosmos into a balanced fifth dimensional state, clearing everything we're able, everything that we agree to. Basically, it's recalibrating these distorted lines of denial, because this exists in the cosmos as well. We have those in our star ancestry. And so when one aspect of soul self agrees to embody mastered self, then all aspects of that higher and all aspects of that monad begin to come in. Now, majority of everyone here is embodying higher self. So what you're receiving in these avatars of remembrance is all of those aspects that you that where you exist in your multidimensional form. They're coming in because your higher self is a complex of those aspects of soul. It's a complexity, it's a compilation. And where the higher self had these fractals of light had been in multidimensional form, what's happening is it's coming together and you're rejoining yourself in unity. And the only way that you can embody a full dimensional mastery is having access to all those soul aspects of dimensional self that are integrating into one unified state. And then you all ascend and you have a choice on where you want to go from there. You want to have a choice. Do you remain? Do you go and do other things and journey? Same for the monad. So many of you are witnessing yourself through those soul aspects. Some of you have a witness in physical form where you actually have aspects of your soul grouping that chose as star seeds to come and be present in this realm in physical form along with you. And then others, some of you are of the same soul cloth, if you will, and others are not. So I want you to understand that, and even if they are of the same soul cloth, you each have your individual mastery. You are here with a mission, and your mission is the embodiment of consciousness. That's how we experience fifth dimension on this planet. When we embody those ranges of consciousness, the remembrance, so does the planet. And some, of course, are embodying on a greater capacity because that's their agreement, that's their mission. Some are accessing and embodying in a way that's going to give them access to fifth dimension, but they've agreed to have a little longer extension of soul evolution, which means they're not going to go through the full embodiment in this incarnation. They will come back and they will experience this realm again through fifth dimensional light form. So it's your mission is based in conscious embodiment, you guys. Okay, so I want everyone to understand that. And we can only access it. The planet is consciousness. Her true form is consciousness. So the only way that we can access her true form and her true grids is by being in our sovereign state. That and many think, and I can tell you this, I would say before, I'm like, yeah, I'm in my sovereignty. Yeah, I'm in my power. And I was in one regard, but I was also still projecting. I was also still concerned with lines of information. I also still had my focus split, where I was focusing on something I was attempting to control because I wanted to manipulate the outcome. So now, as I know this is a lot to take in, you guys, and at the same time it's not, because it's all the same overlighting message. My question to you as we wrap this portion of experience together, where's your focus? Where's your focus? Because if you're constantly receiving through others, you're not really for sure, I guarantee you, what's yours and what's not. You're not for sure if that word or that aspect of information is really an aspect of your remembrance that you're meant to be embodying and that you have mastered. Just because you can access a few timelines of experience doesn't mean that you mastered those timelines. Doesn't mean that you mastered that planet. Doesn't mean that you mastered that dimension. And what's happening is we're getting so caught up in information and certain incarnate experiences that we're forgetting that that's not our activated, that's not our full embodiment, that's not our full integration. So my invitation as we shift is for you to slow down, to pull away, to exist within your pillar, because your pillar holds your library and you alone access it. No, so why do you exchange with others? This is the final thing I'm being guided to bring through. We exchange through others because others have already embodied, let's say, that layer of octave. They have already moved through the choice point where they discovered themselves in consciousness instead of in a split vibration. And so we're meant to exchange with them so we can be in the presence of resonance that we are aligned to, and we exchange through agreement, we exchange through contract, and we also exchange through master codices. So if you're feeling called to exchange, I invite you to do it from a place of where you're simply accessing it through someone who is being a direct mirror and a direct witness, just to reflect back what you are experiencing, but is not holding, is arakanashutini as, is existing as the mirror of your sovereign self. So they are existing as the gateway. They are existing as the realm. They are existing as the range. And you simply step in and join, and you are activated within. So this is how we are meant to exchange. And it can only happen when you can meet yourself in connection with another that is whole. I say holding, I'm being guided away from using holding because it denotes captivity, but that is carrying, that is present, is embodying the frequency ranges in which you understand there is something in there about yourself that maybe you just haven't quite understood how to access. Maybe it's just you need a slight nudge to pull you away from the stream of information and guide you into the stream of consciousness. Because once you get into that stream of consciousness, everything is there for you. Okay. So it also, and it also helps to connect with one that has embodied those masteries, because from that range of octaves, a lot, like everything that has been projected and as an illusion and is being carried by you, can begin to disintegrate. It can begin to disentangle, because that is what infinite intelligence does. It is infinite, it is intelligent, and it can work in your field to help you, because it is yours. That version of you can assist you in deconstructing any lines of time that you're still holding on to because you believe that that is you. Okay. So please exchange with one that can just be a mirror reflection and a witness. Okay. Okay, everyone, if anyone needs to take a bathroom break, please do so. We are getting ready to step into the ranges of consciousness, and we are going to be accessing the Venusian gateways of, or the Venusian libraries of consciousness for activated remembrance, as well as the Dragon Mother. The Dragon Mother is for the planet, the Venusian is for the individual I'm feeling. And thank you for hanging in there. Thank you for receiving all of this. If someone I normally connect with has left a message in the chat and I didn't see it, I just want you to know I've been figuring it out, because there's been a lot of projection coming through. So I was filtering out the projection and the distortion and the disruption. We are being called in this now moment to step into this remembrance so that we may serve. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Alex. We are offering ourselves in sacred service of the greater and highest. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I am so grateful. I am so grateful for each and every one of you beautiful pillars of sovereignty and your presence. I feel you. I feel you deeply in the heart and in the wing space and all through here. I feel you because we are together in that space always. And I want to say again, Alex, thank you for assisting me in holding the sovereign light at the beginning, because it was like I had to continue coming back because, man, so many lines of distortion. It was like all over the place. So had to keep pulling everything back in here instead of going out here and focusing on what everyone was saying and what everyone was projecting. Because everyone, you know how it is. Those that are coming in from the 3D are like, you suck. No one likes you, because obviously they don't like who they are. And they are attempting to project that which they are. I hope that they understand that they are held and they are understood in ways that they cannot imagine. And my highest highest wish, I don't want to say desire, but my highest hope is that they will find themselves. And it was interesting when I saw one of the comments was like, nobody likes you. I'm like, good. I don't want people to like me. I'm very grateful. It's not about people liking me. It's about people understanding and honoring themselves. It has nothing to do with me. And so let us begin to drop into our magnetism. Free from information, free from mind, where the only thing that we are meant to be experiencing is the feeling of our light magnetic. And once you bring your awareness into the existence of that which you are, it is, of course, undeniable. I'm already feeling it. I'm feeling myself as my body of light immediately. I'm feeling the presence of the filaments coming out from here, my wings. Feeling the presence of what I would say is the crown of consciousness. What I would say would be the roots of consciousness, which are filaments going into the Earth star. A halo with filaments of light going into the soul star, sun star, universal star. Yeah, absolutely. It was a very powerful lesson of sovereignty, of coming back into the pillar. That's why I do these in this way publicly, is because it's an opportunity to learn how to interact and how to still be in the presence of that which is needing and necessary to come through, and not getting caught up in all the stuff, right? All the stuff. So I would invite you to begin stepping into the presence of your pillar, which is only accessible through the heart. So pull yourself in and feel where, when you are aware of your light magnetic is going to reflect it back. There's nothing that you need to do. All you need to do is accept that this is where you are. And we are going to move into different layers and experiences of this. Absolutely, Stephanie. Like, I'm so grateful that each of you stepped in. Steph, Greg, Charlotte, Siraj, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And anyone else that's here that I haven't seen your comment, because there was so much I was filtering out. Thank you, thank you, thank you for holding your light. No, that for being the light. Got to get away from using that word. For we do not hold the light, it is not captive. We don't prevent it from doing anything. We simply exist within and as. So requesting permission to access the Master Key Code libraries of my Divine Blueprint, Venusian, and Dragon Mother. I also want everyone to understand, Linda, bless. Thank you. I'm so grateful your light is present. We are light. Yes, Mina. Yes, thank you. Beautiful. Love, love, love. So many of my just fellow stars. Thank you. Thank you. So grateful to have each of you in the presence and the witness of your sovereignty. And I also want to drop in one last thing. I'm hoping this will support others. And the witness of myself, I'm hoping it will support others. As I understand myself, I am an architect, I'm a builder, a designer, if you will. These are the words we use in human form, but in the cosmos and the universal, simply meaning to construct from the divine material of consciousness. I want you to understand as you move into these activated remembrances, your role is not, again, it's not something that you do. Yes, you are a keeper of multiple aspects of self, but I would invite you to access yourself from that which you be, not that which you do. We don't have to fix anything, you guys. There's nothing to fix because nothing is broken. Everything in the 3D is by divine orchestrated design because of choice, sovereign free will choice. Everything exists as it is meant to. We do not need to fix anything. However, there are lines of conscious time and lines of distorted time. In order for the third density to close itself out, which means in order for that energy to transition fully and not remain stuck, we must bring in that which we are. And I know for myself and others, we are here to assist in that transition, that closing out, as the designers, as the builders. And so we work within these lines of time, within these lines of consciousness, and we guide others. We are the bridgers. We guide others into the flow of consciousness. That's how we're bridging. Okay? And that's what I know this is my mission is I am a bridge of consciousness. Allow yourself to find and feel your resonance within that which is expressed here. We bridge based on what we are. Narakashitina marakuyatina. That which we accept. Garakanikuriasiana matakes. That which we integrate. Marakushotina e sotork ushiak a. Begin taking some slow, deep breaths. In this gathering, the guidance is based in the sacred service with the intention of just simply shifting, bridging, integrating. Once you move through this, as any and all of those that we are together within any of these transmissions, my invitation is to please use time as an investment of your integration. Please do not consistently consume information during an integration point. Very important. You will end up distorting that which you are. It's very important that you move through the waves of that which is the embodiment process. Arakuteshkiak ut indak ark as ut atak mak ut ark mak ut. Sadia sindik e shuturu amia sethe. Reanamadate sutek e sutek e sutek e sutek e. And as we come into the heart, we breathe deep in. Expanding into the wings. Expanding into the state. Bringing your awareness to a place of pure feeling. I would like for you to take your hands and just move them outwards and to feel the magnetic sensation. Like I feel my wings opening. I actually can feel the light down here, up here. I can feel when I do this, I can feel the magnetic lines. I mean, yes, I'm lifting my arms and yes, I have physical sensations, but that's not what I'm feeling. I'm feeling the magnetism, the the light body, by intention of movement, it moves, for it is energy, it is frequency. I would like for you to use this invitation as an opportunity to discover your light by playing moving slowly with the intention of sensation. To feel the presence and play in your sacred sovereign light. I'm going to begin moving through some expressions of light. I'm beginning to feel a bit lightheaded, so I'm going to move them through some expressions of light as we come solely into the pillar and shift into the astral etheric. Acknowledging that through this process we are moving through the heart star portal. Gashiandia Sotenia. And the pillar is always anchored. Branches and leaves in the soul star and above, roots in the earth star and below. Koriasinak Ari Uriakinda. So take a deep breath in, extending your roots, anchoring yourself into the magnetic grid lines, using your awareness and your breath to be your connection into your light self. And feeling that connection. And then on the next in breath, reach those roots. Reaching those branches up, extending all the way out into the cosmos. Drinking from your starlight, seeing yourself as you are. Your true light form is infinite. It spans across dimensionality. It is outside of the body, and yet it is within all that is. Your physical body cannot house the fullness of your light body. However, your etheric exists as such. Adakushiande amakari asukuyadia. I would like for you to take some deep breaths and to follow me in the expression of light. Not follow me, join me. Garesiniate okuya. As we begin to shift our frequency and our currents, as we begin to move into the experience of our embodied light. Requesting access to the expressed light codices which guide us into this dimensional experience. Please declare, I accept, I receive. Zadamak e, Zadamak e, Zadamak e, Zadamak e, Zadamak e, Zadamak e, Zadamak e. Manananamat 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 anakatari akur marakatat mat lamatik e kut sadamat 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 Korea sick e 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 Good in Korakat coming in Be sure you're taking deep breaths. This is where you expand within. Karyasake. Marakatatat ushkat itarak mak. Inamakate sukutu amarike sutuk u marikete 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 sutuk ut a ut a ut a rak e lak maru shamare maru rak inda mara kutar met e marava kutur matak e marava kutat mak e marava kumak e marava turuk mak a inarek e as we are accessing the ma lines kurakashetek e the ra lines marakutuk iskat e that which I am garakate ark makurk amakurk makurk 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 and in this space of witness garakatat e you are finding yourself in that which you are. Marikutuk ushkiat es market e 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 market e. And together suktuk u suktuk u suktuk u suktuk u suktuk u as we access these lines of sovereign self marikushandik a. We witness our sovereignty. Please take a few deep breaths. Expanding within these lines, within these currents, within these octaves of light, these octaves of consciousness. And I would like for everyone to anchor themselves through their awareness into this range of octaves. I'm going to turn the fan on really quickly. Okay. And now you anchor in by accepting that which you are. And now in this range, in this aspect of sovereign light self, of course, we're just going to continue to move into higher and deeper aspects. From here, I would like to just move through some, I'm being guided to move through some calibrations of this range of octaves. So calling forth through my awareness, the Venusian vortices of activated remembrance. I would love and invite you to find this in your awareness, to feel the presence, just feel the presence of these lines. Do not try to do anything. Do not expect to receive. Allow yourself to receive. If anything comes through, if you hear anything, that is fantastic. If you see anything, that is fantastic. But do not place yourself in a space of expectations. Within consciousness, you receive exactly in the exact way you are meant to. And if that simply means feeling this in this way, that is the presence of your remembrance. Allow, allow, allow. I'm very much feeling the rose order, Garyasana Kiyatu, which is an order of consciousness, an order of mastery. It is those who have mastered. So we would say the rose order are those that have mastered from the Venusian, Maria Sate, the ranges of soul integration through this mastery of sovereignty. That is this order of Garyasutuk presence. They are very much here connected in Darakatak Ush and very much present as reflections and mirrors of us as we are Garakari here receiving Garakata in these activated remembrances to serve Mashku, the embodiment of planetary, Darakatuk, the embodiment of self. Ruk ushkiat e marak e marak e marak e marak e marak e. Gutuk ushkat. Gutuk ushkat. Garak nak ark makut 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 makut. Yanana mate si akuya si ana sa markerak makare a junde. Uyandak mak emak 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 e arua. Imake make make armake make make armake make make karak e mark e 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 o shandak e sakaka 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 sakaka. Just allowing some calibrations to flow through, just to make sure that we are all anchored in the presence of our pure self. Please take a deep breath in. Anchor yourself in. Another deep breath in, please. And expand and anchor. The codices, the vortices, the libraries are flowing and opening through the central pillar. I am feeling the presence in the heart, the higher heart, the sacral, the solar plexus. I am feeling this in this area of light, not in the physical, but in the central. It is expanding outwards. This is just the general location in your pillar of light. And then also in the third eye, and it is expanding outwards. This is your crown of consciousness. And as these libraries, these lines of codices are pouring into your awareness, into your central pillar of sovereignty, allow yourself to receive that version of you. It does not need to be complicated or complex. It is simple. It is easy. It is graceful. I want you to take a few moments, and I want you to be in the presence and the witness of this aspect of self, joining with the order of the rose, or the order of mastered consciousness, as of course, expressing from my master library. We will open through the presence of this gathering and expand within the astral Akash, within the etheric Akash, to receive that which is necessary and needed for your mission. I would like for you to take a few moments and just simply receive through feeling, just receive through feeling before we move into the next wave and layer the templates. Requesting access to the ancient lines, to the ancient light magnetic, so that I may provide the guidance and the bridge of consciousness. And I would like for you to all feel yourself in the presence and the witness of each other as we are all gathered together in witness of sovereignty. I would like for you to see yourself gathered here with your brothers and your sisters, those ascended masters that you have journeyed with through many lifetimes, many planetary cosmic adventures. To see yourself and to see each other as the brilliant light that you are, being gathered here together in witness, in celebration, in remembrance. Let us join together now in the order of consciousness that is necessary and needed for our sacred service of Source Light and within Source Light. Ramakuti asyandak marakutara 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 marakushandare kiakudanda marakute amarakute 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 marakute Ashukuturuk maratek 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 marak suktak layering with suktuk urak marakute suktuk shanda 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 Irakinda marakujandak aramamaturi akhari asukut marakate sutuk indare marak sutuk Maratik Deep breath in and expand within. Feeling how the physical presence of self begins to dissolve away. How the presence and the feeling is coming from a state of pure light. For me, I know that my physical body is present, but I do not feel the heaviness. I do not feel the density. I merely feel the expansiveness of the infinite, the magnetism, the pull through my roots, the continual openness, the expansiveness as my branches and my leaves and all that I am, my filaments, my blossoms reach up into the heavens. Garekundai Shodai Marara Indara Kuria Sutuku. We open and access this gateway of remembrance and unity and consciousness. Arashinari Kuyasinak Ada Kujiandia. Masate Shute Ad. We now cross through this bridge of consciousness into the next range. Allow your filaments of light to expand out and anchor into this range of conscious awareness. We request with permission to access, integrate, acknowledge the ranges of master codices through the vessel, through the pillar of light. So allowing those to come in, to integrate, to be in the presence of your eternal self. And you may gather all that is needed. You may harvest what is necessary from within this library as it is now present through your awareness. You have access, that remembrance. Allow yourself to breathe in, anchor in, expand within. As we move into the next ranges, we are moving into that of cosmic planetary, a wider berth, a larger template. What I am receiving is that we are gathered through not only intention, but by divine design right now. We are gathered by divine design to seed and anchor this library of codices into and from within the matrices or the axonal lines of the Terra Nova grid, the star grid. So allow yourself to dial in through your awareness As this grid is flowing through your astral etheric, it is also flowing through your heart star. It is flowing through your soul star. It is flowing through your earth star. Creating, through its weaving, a geometric design. And then see kutas chinak ari site marak ari esoteric indik sutuk 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 marak rug mak jota mi rumat at ruk atini nashikindi rumat zindik zutak natat ushkandak mak root and ijunde meya kutina zundak marak ra rumara zinamara kunamara inamara inakatero sakane mataki ru ash ut inak esut marakute 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 ar is flowing into another wave. Gorokashini mat mat karamat marara 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 imara kote marara imarakina matak ut marara 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 kut marara inamara kote marara inamara kunne marara kut marara kite marara inamara kite mak 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 kuda mak suku Suku, suku. Feeling the anchor in the wing space. And from there we rise. Pulling us up. Na he ka san he an quad he at had niasate had he qua had he quad he quad Niashokotana mara, kina mara, ina mara, kujiana mara, uruna mara, kina mara, kina mara, kina mara. Deep breath in. Expand within. And now we have moved into the higher aspects. You may feel some popping and opening in your sinuses in the physical, as the physical is reflecting. Where we are in the astral etheric is in the higher frequencies of dimensionality. Receiving with permission of the Dragon Mother Ascended Master Tribe codices. Requesting permission from the Master Key Code Library of Sasha Mara. Mara inda mara kush anda mara zut ek arama. Please take a deep breath. Feel the presence of your light expanding outward. We are now connecting into, and we are going to begin moving higher and connecting and anchoring higher into the lines, the light magnetic exonial of Terra Nova, the dragon lines, the pure lines of sovereign creation. Please allow yourself to accept and receive as we ask permission to enter this set of astral etheric libraries and codices. We request this for the sacred service of the planetary and the cosmic. We come together in unity. We come together in this golden circle. We come together meeting in the presence of our unified self, and together We connect, we link, and I would like for you to feel the presence of yourself linking in with each soul here, each ascended master here, which is you, and connect in with all that are and that exist within the presence of their sovereign self. As we connect in unified awareness, we are going to begin pouring our light into this grid space as we are channeling this library from the astral etheric into the planetary astral etheric. And let us begin moving through the ranges of octaves now. Hadyanase, had, yat, 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 nase, quad, quad, mat, ra, shake, Karanashiki maraka, Sharakandaria mat arya as usha, Inarakesiak armat Inarak Sadak Marik Sadak Marik Rak anak Sak Rak Arkanik 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 Marka us at Ishikati Arganini mak Aranini mak Inini mak Ruk us ark amak at Aragamak at Aramak at Aramak hard 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 Koniasiki at Kuriasini Marikiti Arkani Kuati Kurikini Kuat Yad Quad Yata di ata kini madaki kariki kurikitini arikutu arkini arkani markatu ash uk ad requesting connection into the tuning forks to allow reverberation to be experienced through the cellular, the molecular, to further anchor the DNA codices. Please take a deep breath in. Expanding within the presence of this activated remembrance and this activated seeding. As through the harvest of our awareness of consciousness, we are harvesting these aspects of ourself to bring through the experience of the embodiment of dimensional consciousness, being anchored into the sovereign lines of the ascended master codices, allows us to be free from projection and allows us to access the infinite intelligence of these creator lines. Allow yourself to receive that which is meant to flow through You do not need to hold on to anything. You do not need to try to you do not need to try to remember specific things. Just allow it to flow through. Allow it to move through your awareness and allow it to flow through. Move through the awareness and flow through. You do not need to hold anything captive. Inakate uriya siana. It is not about remembering through the mind. Gadashiania uri. It is about having the experience in the now and allowing that to be integrated without needing. Ariya sake shandak e marak 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 e. Stuk tuk 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 ut 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 ut. Yanananaman e nananamat e nananamat e nananamat e sut 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 sut. And just feeling the central pillar and its solidification and expansion. Breathing deeply into your roots. Breathing deeply into your expansion. Allowing yourself to honor that all that was necessary and needed is being received. Nariya Soke Shandak E, Mariat E, Mariat E, Mariat E, Mariat E, Mariat E, Mariat E. As we allow these lines Gurukate to flow through, Marakate, 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 and we exist within the flow, Gariya Namare E, Gariyamat E, Gariyamat E, as the brilliant light connected to all, and we are a part of the river, and we are the river, Garianat E, Garianat E, Garianat E, Garianat E. We are not just one specific remembrance, we are all aspects of remembrance. Guriasini, 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 Kuruk E, Kuruk E, Kuruk E, Kuruk E, Kuruk E, Kuruk E, Kuruk E. Marakutur oot 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 oot. Further calibrating garakata, garakata, marakate, garakata, marakate, garakata, marakate, garakata, marakate, inakate, marak e, marak e, marak e, marak e, marak e, marak e, kurk oot, kurk oot, kurk oot, kurk oot. Bringing it in, anchoring it within. I would like for you to just take a moment just to be in the presence, to be in your brilliance, to shine, to mirror all that is shining through you, all that is being reflected to you through others. Take a moment in gratitude and appreciation of your light, appreciation of your sovereign power and your authority within this power. Your authority comes from your authentic expression of your resonance, expressing your truth, that which you are, not that which you think. Gararu ashkiat e. Narakutashkian darak e marak e darak e marak e darak e marak e. Feel yourself flowing. Feel yourself continuously expanding. Witness the brilliant rays that you are. We will now bring ourselves in. We will bring all that we are into physical. So let us begin. Please take a deep breath. Allow yourself to accept that we are now moving into the physical. Tarmak A. Zururu. Ya 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 ya. Ooh, ta 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 ta. Ooh, gurakat a, 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 gurakat a. Bringing it in. Turkut o, 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 turkut o. Shut ta 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 ta. Oot 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 oot. Ari 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 ari. Oot oot ari anat e. Sutuk o sutuk o sutuk o sutuk o sutuk o. At oot at. Urk mat e mark e mark e mark e. Sutuk o sutuk o sutuk o sutuk o sutuk o. At oot at argamat e. Sutuk tuk 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 urk at, bringing it into the physical awareness. Karigat oot into the body. Kudgut oot into the heart. Kudgut oot. Ash. Suktuk. 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 Narakashin dare aru unmit e. So we seal this remembrance. Karagat e dark into the physical. Mark e 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 suktuk o at nirkit eat out ark makruk at ind ad mark at adikut oot armak e suktuk o toot armak at sut at. Deep breath in. Receiving all as all has been received. Allowing it to settle into the physical. Allowing yourself to understand through this activated remembrance that your DNA was receiving the entire time. Garikatarik indak e, marakat arak e, marakat arak e, marakat arak e, satak e, satak e, satak e, satak e, satak e. Bringing this all in and allowing yourself to accept that you are anchored and within the receiving of the highest sovereign line of your authority. Garianak e, Garianak e, Garianak e. Suk, 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 suk. Anchoring it deep into the earth star. Narashutiniya into the spine. Nurakushindiyara. Inarayasate. Marara. And expanded within the central nervous system. Maraka. Suktuk. All is activated. All is complete. And so it is. Allow yourself to take a few moments. And also understanding that this is how we integrate an activated remembrance within the physical, is that the physical must receive from the astral etheric state of consciousness, not the lines of information. This is how the DNA is activated through integrated soul remembrance. Makash. What a beautiful gathering this has been. I just want to declare that this has been beautiful. This has been absolutely beautiful. The heart is so full and expansive as we are all coming back in, meeting together once again in a different aspect of self in the physical, but we are all here together. I want to extend my gratitude, my appreciation to each and every one of you. I want to declare how wonderful it is to be in the presence of my beloved family of light. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Each of you are so amazing and you're so wonderful, and you are witnessed. I am so happy you did too, Mina. I am so happy you did too. So grateful to have you. So grateful. Each of you are so beautiful and so wonderful, and it's just such a blessing. And it's just a blessing each and every time we gather together and feel ourselves in this way. Thank you for allowing me to be the presence of what I am and to guide. Thank you for trusting me to guide and to bridge. Thank you for allowing me to step into guidance and bridging. Thank you, because that is a gift and a blessing, and I'm honored to be able to fulfill my mission in this way. So thank you, thank you, thank you. If anyone it feels called to ever share at any point in time your experience, I'm always open to receiving what you felt, what you remembered. But again, I don't want you to do this right away. I used to request that, be like, hey, drop it in, drop it in, drop it in, drop it in. No, I want you to be with that aspect of yourself. And I want you to digest and to experience yourself before you share it. This is what we're meant to do. Before, we should not just run out and start posting what we remembered immediately, because that goes back into the excited nature of the mind. It's like, oh, hey, look. Share the message of what you are through this remembrance when that aligned moment appears. Okay, there's no need for everyone to know everything that you know. I love you too, my dear. And I say that word as freedom from projection, and I can truly say that now. I experience and express my gratitude from a place that is free. I support and witness each of you. But I say this because we have a tendency to jump in and jump right back into our connections of social media, of friends, of family. We have a tendency to jump right back into the excitement. And we have a tendency to get all caught back up in the excitement, that we just don't take the time as an investment into self and take that time, invest it back in here, and just be with what we are. And you will express that which you are in message when the message is aligned to be delivered through you. It's not about, and this is a big one for me, you guys, because I thought before I had to just tell people what I was, and I had to tell people what I know, and I had to tell people what the message is now. But that's almost like that's almost like force. That is force. It's like projection. It's like, here, this is what you need. This is what you need. It's not about what somebody else needs. It's about what they can receive, and they can only receive in the divine aligned moment that it is already divinely orchestrated to be present within. I am so full of joy as well, my dear. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I love you guys so much. So please, as we depart from this connection here, but we are always still connected through here, especially through this active. And when we activate together through remembrance and unity, we remain in that resonant connection. That's never broken. The only way that you can be separate from that is to hang on one second. And the only way, sorry, that's Bruiser's vet calling, but I will call him back. The only way that can be is if you deny yourself the presence of yourself, if you deny yourself the investment of time, if you deny yourself, please, 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 we must clear these lines of denial. We must clear these lines of excitement. We must close them out. And the way they can close out, the way that energy can be transmuted and transitioned is if we are. So we must transition ourselves continuously into these states of consciousness, and we must be in the presence there. And that is where we will remain. That is where we will reside. That is where we will exist, because that is already where we exist. So thank you all for receiving. Thank you all for choosing to be with me and with yourself and with each other. I am so grateful to each of you, and I look so very much forward to our next gathering. I am looking forward to bringing something through for my group space tomorrow. I feel that's very much present, so I will see you all in a transmission tomorrow. And until our next gathering here, you guys, please go be in the presence of your light, honor that which you are, and I will see you next time. Until then, Adonai.